Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Poland and Ukraine show their teeth to one another again and start growling. Why? Because they're so friends. They're so friends. Okay, I told you many times that all this is BS, and underneath is a how do you call it? A big explosion about to happen between the Ukrainians and the Poles. The Poles says, well, we're going to support you, Ukrainians, and so on. It's because this is the how I see it is the and is not based on just because I had a dream last night or something. Is you have the Poles and you have the Ukrainians and the Russians. The Poles don't like either of these guys, okay, and they don't like Poland as well. It's like nobody likes anybody over there. It's not that the Poles are the ones that are the only ones. No, it's the three of them. So what's going on here? The Poles helped Ukraine against the Russians. They don't like either. Now the Russians are not losing. Therefore, these guys want something from the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians, yeah, give me the help. When Poland says something, immediately you realize that something is wrong. Like let's say in a family, you have a relationship with your wife or husband, and it's that's a lot of problems in your relationship, but you keep it to a decent relationship kind of, and immediately when something small happens, you both jump and start arguing like it's the end of the world, and you realize that's not because of this little thing. It's because everything that was underneath the whole thing between the relationship. So the relationship is bad, but this little reason allowed both sides to show actually how they really feel about one another. This is what's going on here with Poland and Ukraine. So what happened? If you remember, yesterday I covered. If you don't, I tell you now. Poland, one of the President Duda's officials, said that Ukraine is ungrateful, doesn't show appreciation for Poland's support. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but remember Ben Wallace of Great Britain did the same thing, and he got smacked. Now, the Poles are not British. Unfortunately, it seems like the Poles have balls, and the Brits did not. Why? Because the Brits shut their mouth when Zelensky mocked their official, Ben Wallace. Remember who Ben Wallace is? I think he's like the chief of the military intelligence or something. Anyway, so he's like you be a CIA or something like that. So they didn't intervene. By the way, Ben Wallace is going to be kicked out of the political life. He says, I'm just going away. The Poles are not doing that. Why? Because the Poles are different. And that's no wonder why Napoleon Bonaparte praised the Polish courage and strength when he used them to attack Russia, and not only. So anyway, here you have Poland was not a country at that time, just so you know. It was Polish fighters. So we have here two articles that will show how they spat on one another. The Poles and the Ukrainians, and the things are getting really bad. So let's start with this one. Alright, so Ukraińska Pravda. Polish Foreign Ministry says current relations with Ukraine are not the best. And no, they're not. And the other article is Poland tells Ukraine it made a serious mistake. Kiev previously slammed Warsaw over unacceptable comments from a senior Polish official. So what happened? These guys, see these guys, if he receives an order right here, if he receives an order, these guys are done. And the order, he's not under this guy's order or this guy's order. Someone else, if pays him more, these guys are done right on the spot. Just so you know, the same thing is with many other presidents. The protection guard, the mercenaries. So anyway, let's see what's going on here. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has said Ukraine made a major error by summoning Warsaw's envoy over remarks from a high-level presidential staffer who suggested Kiev should be more grateful for the vast sums of foreign aid it has received. Responding in a tweet on Tuesday, Morawiecki said the decision to summon the Polish ambassador, quote-unquote, should never have taken place. Yeah, but these guys are thugs. This guy So he plays his way. You try to be kind of civilized, but this guy is not. He's a mafia boss. He thinks he is. He's just a weasel. He can be taken and sent to the cemetery by the Americans if they want, and others. But I don't think that would happen because he's doing what he's supposed to. So, nevertheless, he's not his own man. That's for sure. So, and I'm quoting, in international politics, in the face of ongoing war and taking into account the enormous support that Poland has given Ukraine, such mistakes should not happen, the Prime Minister said. I agree with that. But as this guy mocked Ben Wallace in front of everybody at NATO, and NATO during a meeting, and NATO with Stoltenberg next to him, and Poland did what? I think they just fired Ben Wallace. These guys are not like that. They are not. That's why they're Poles, and I admire that. And I'm quoting, "We will always defend Poland's good name, its security, and the interest of no other country will even prevail over the interest of the Republic of Poland." Now that's how a normal leader talks, the way I see it. And not only talks, it should act in the same way. The Prime Minister's rebuttal came just hours after the Ukraine Foreign Ministry summoned Polish ambassador to Kiev to discuss recent statements by the head of the International Policy Bureau within the Polish presidential administration. Speaking to Polish broadcaster TVP, this guy, Prizdach, defended the Polish ban on Ukrainian grain imports, arguing, and I'm quoting, "It would be fitting for Ukraine to start appreciating the role Poland has played for Ukraine over the recent months and years," end quote. I think this is correct. But I don't know what kind of appreciation. Like keep your mouth a little bit shut from time to time. The Ukrainian government reacted negatively to the comment, with Foreign Ministry spokesman saying, and I'm quoting, "The statement about the alleged ingratitude of the Ukrainians for the assistance of the Republic of Poland do not reflect reality, and such are unacceptable." Okay, well, whatever you want. Polish Foreign Minister rejected the criticism from Kiev, insisting his country's policies are guided by Polish interests, while stressing the large amount of assistance given to Ukraine over the last year. So things are not going right. It's not okay. All right. Let's go back to the other article. Polish Foreign Ministry said current relations with Ukraine are not the best. Paweł Jablonski, Polish Deputy Foreign Minister, has said relations with Ukraine have not been the best lately. No, they just show up what they are. It's the same thing as when they say, well, money changed Emil. No, money allowed Emil to show you who he really is. The same here. I don't think the things in Ukraine go pretty well. The Poles are becoming impatient. They want their side of Ukraine. They want something. Do you think they are in there just because they have a good heart? Did you hear what the Prime Minister said? Said, "We look only for our interest, my man, and our interest is, I'm guessing, get that Lviv or Lvov back, that area over there, Western Ukraine, that was given to the Soviet Union, right, after the Second World War." So there you have it. The relationship has not been, will not be good. It will be manageable. Counseling will not work because usually, counseling will not work. So the Americans will keep them, hey, like two children, don't fight. But the Poles are arming themselves like nobody else. Nobody else on, I would say, maybe with first, I don't think any other country on this planet arms itself at the rate the Poles are arming themselves, which is nothing wrong with that, but raises the question, against whom? You know you're not going to be attacked by the Russians. Americans will defend you. So why do you need to invest like crazy? And remember, I covered that in a few videos. They buy 500 HIMARS and 300 Sanuk, Sabaluk, the South Korean counterpart of HIMARS. So they're going to have about 800 air defense systems, the highest quality. Ukraine allegedly needed about 20 to stop and push the Russians back, we're told. Why do you need 500? What, 20 are not enough? No, man. And they are doubling their military, the troops, from, I don't know, like 180,000 to about 300 or something. Again, they buy tanks, Abram tanks, like 300, 250, and then I think 200 more, so like about 500 tanks. What, are you crazy? They're gonna have I don't know if F-35s, but F-16s. Again, what F-16s are going out? Some might be 35. I am not certain about that one. But anyway, I know they're arming like crazy. Against whom? Against Germany. They asked Germany for $1.3 trillion reparation for the Second World War. Is Germany the next one inside? I don't think so, because Germany is a US occupation area, so they can't take it from Germany because they're gonna deal with the Americans, so they will not invade those guys. Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, the Baltic states, that's zero. You don't need those peanuts or crumbs from the table. Who else could be? Belarus and Ukraine. Do you think Slovakia would be? I don't think so. Hungary, they have to jump over Slovakia to get to Hungary. Romania, no, because Romania is really moaning right now because it's by the NATO. So it's not going to be that. Or either Belarus, which is kind of Russia, and the other one is Ukraine. As I said before, if the Russians break their front and they go westward towards Kiev, I guarantee you 99%, I don't like to say 100, the Poles will enter the military into Ukraine and protect the Ukrainians and the Poles from the western Ukraine. So they're going to do it for an humanitarian angle. And probably the Hungarians will do the same thing with Zakarpattia. I guarantee you 90%, I don't want to say 100, but that's exactly how I feel about it. They will just help them. You will see troops, if the Russians will destroy these guys and come towards west. So that's it. They're not friends. They will not be friends, and there's no way, unless you do some brain and heart surgery to the Poles and the Ukrainians, then they will become friends. They will be like robots. Friends. We're friends. No friends. Oh, no friends. Friends. Oh, friends. That's how. And that's how they want to program us with all their BS. Like, man, a woman, no man, no woman, and I can go on and on the same path. You know what I mean. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.